welcome back to the Barstool College Football Show presented by Panera. Hashtag Saturdays are for the Mac. Fellas, how's the week been?
Good.
Great.
Good. Excited.
Well, I was more asking Dan because I know last weekend was pretty rough for you.
Nope. We've moved
recovered?
on. Wisconsin breaks my heart every year. This year we just got it out of the way very, very early. And also BYU kind of cheated now that I think about it. They ran a lot of like jet sweep and weird motion offense. You got to play Wisconsin straight up like a man. So they're cowards. Iowa will play us straight up like men, and we'll get to that game in a little bit.
Yeah, we'll definitely be talking about that. How'd you feel about the post locker room stuff, the post game, the jump around thing by BYU?
That's fine. If you have a tradition, people want to mock it, and I actually take that as a compliment.
You mock A&M's traditions.
Everyone wants to be Wisconsin student section, jump around, that whole thing. You know, they've done a million stories about it. It's okay, you know. And guess what? We're going to probably go 10-3. Probably win the Outback Bowl. Another successful Wisconsin football season.
Can we put up the graphic of the tweet that Dan had during the game? I was lucky enough to be at the FanDuel Casino with Dan in the Meadowlands.
Watching his misery?
Well, it was early, and I said
there was no problem.
I said I like the way BYU's playing. I think Wisconsin's overrated. They've been overrated the entire season. They may lose this game. Dan had a snide tweet. He's like, "There's no way we're losing this game. We may not be
First
great,
of all, BYU's ranked 25th in the coaches poll. So
after beating you,
Nobody cares about the coaches
no,
poll.
they're
Who they
real.
lose to?
And tune in later. Little teaser. They might be ranked a little higher in my poll.
who did BYU lose to already?
Cal.
Oh.
Cal's.
Do you actually
Jared
care about the
Goff?
coaches poll, or are you only saying that
Jared Goff
because
is gone.
it fits your narrative this week?
Yeah, I mean, the season's over. So we're just going to have some
season's
nice games, you know.
I hate to see
We're going
that
to beat
graphic.
Michigan in Ann Arbor.
I'd hate to see that graphic of Dan saying there's no way they're going to lose this game in the middle of the game. I'd hate to see that.
Yeah, because you've never said things that people can't drag up, right?
Touche.
Hate to see that. By the way,
Remember
Dan,
when you cried after the Patriots last week won last year?
You
We're now
cried?
talking about the Patriots.
No, I'm just
Everything
asking.
I do comes back to
I'm
the
just
Patriots. This is a
asking if you
college
remember.
show. No,
Okay. Do you remember? You remember when you
We're
said
talking about
that
Wisconsin
Okay, so
this
all right,
week.
we'll keep it on
Why?
college.
In
Remember
the game.
when Michigan said when you said if Michigan loses to Notre Dame, you are done with the season?
That was for
Yes, you absolutely said that. And
No, there is footage, and I'm glad
put
we're
the
bringing it
footage
up.
in.
Let's put
Let's
the
put the
footage in.
footage
But
in.
make sure
Put
it's
the
a
footage
dream.
in.
You know what? Make sure
Let's put the footage in.
make sure it's a dream sequence because that was for a tape. We weren't even talking real. I didn't want to give any of my real takes because I burned them.
Here's the thing. It's hard to say game one's your whole season, but this absolutely is. This is if Michigan wins, we're in the
Really
final.
sets the tone.
If
they
we win, we're in the
lose-
final four.
if they
we
lose-
lose, they're out.
just out.
Done. Wasted season. I'm on to the Patriots.
Dave,
Hey,
you
did you
pulled
see
footage
Big
out
Ev
of
over
this.
there with Ohio State on his thing? Remember when they just let women get molested?
Oh, now we're moving that. Now we're moving to there.
What? I mean,
Wow.
you
Brian Kelly killed the kid.
Spicy start. Damn.
ricochet shots all over the place.
Is that how you wanted to start this show?
No, I
Yeah,
didn't
because-
want to start it. No, Tommy.
Well, I'm just.
We
we're
didn't
talking
want to start
scandals.
it. It gets dirty. When you talk college football, blood just starts flying everywhere. I feel like we're on a message board right now.
Well, maybe everybody should eat their mac and cheese.
Yes.
Get along.
Jim
That's good,
McElwain.
right?
Might have fucked
Do
a
it.
shark.
What do you have? You have the bacon one,
I got the
Dan?
crab one.
Yep.
What do I got?
Baja.
Barbecue.
There
There is
Chicken.
noodles.
Barbecue
Baja?
chicken?
All right, thanks to Panera. We have the
Spicy
mac and
start.
cheese. Hopefully we'll get along for the rest of
Are
this
you
show.
not eating it?
I am.
You
I have
too
the
good
plain
to
one.
eat it?
I mean, I'd have
Yelling
to
at us
introduce.
like children. Hey, eat
Delicious.
your mac and cheese. You
I'm just
eat your
trying to
mac and
get
cheese.
everybody needs to get along. I'm
Delicious
trying to
and
introduce the
nutritious.
first game of this week so we can get to the weekend preview. So the first game we're going to talk about, Arizona State versus number 10 Washington. Washington is favored by 17. This is a bounce back game for Arizona State because they did not leave it all on the grass. They lost last week to San Diego State. And here's a fun fact, right? I'm already starting fun facts right off the top.
Yeah, wait.
Arizona State 11-1 straight up in the last 12 games and 12-0 against the spread in the last 12 games against Washington. So they just absolutely own the Huskies.
Versus spread. That is a fun fact.
That
It is a fun fact.
It's a very fun
I'm
fact.
starting out hot today since my fun fact last week about Big Cat fell flat.
Well, that was just wrong. That wasn't a fact. That was the opposite of fact. Well, I'm going to give you some facts.
Give me some facts, Dave.
Do it.
Last week, everyone was Utah this, Utah that. Utah's a tough place to place. I said place to play. I said forget those facts. Washington will beat them. They'll beat them handily. They did. They got a little help from the fat guy whose ball just fell off his stomach running free into the end zone. I also said Arizona State would not only not cover against San Diego State, they'd lose straight up. I bet both those ways. I won those. I am seeing Arizona State and Washington as clearly as I can see any two teams, not only this year, not only in college football, but football period.
Ever?
Yeah.
Okay.
Washington kills them. 17 points. Take your fun facts, throw them out the window. Washington wins this game by a minimum of 40 points.
Here's the thing with Herm Edwards. He can get everyone to buy in, but as soon as it doesn't start working, it's going to be hard to get everyone back on the same page, to leave it on the grass, all that stuff. They're vulnerable. We've talked a million times about Washington. That place rocks.
Yep.
They got the sailgating, which is awesome.
Have you ever been to a game there?
No,
Have you?
I've driven
No.
by the stadium. Looks awesome. The sailgating, the weird angle. Washington basketball and football, weird angles for all their broadcasts. But I think I'm agreeing with Dave here. I think Washington, this is what we call a boat race.
Yeah, shout out Barry Tompkins, who always calls Washington basketball games late at night. I love him.
We should go sailgating though. Can we
Yeah,
do that?
sailgating
Yeah,
looks
I'm
awesome.
down for that.
Awesome.
And do it in Washington, not at Waco, because nobody
Yes.
wants to go to Baylor.
Wait, they have
They do?
sailgating at Waco? Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Waco sounds like a terrible place.
It is.
just
It's
to
not
go.
great.
Well, there's your A&M.
Well, and you had
bias.
the,
No,
the
it's-
whole branch Davidians or whatever, that whole scene that happened.
That was
good.
that was not
Nothing
good.
good happens in Waco.
No.
Tell me what you got.
I just have you ever heard of a little thing called regression to the mean, Kayce?
I have.
Well, it means that we are due for Washington. They're 0-12 against the spread. They're a better team than Arizona State. I said a couple weeks ago, I think I said Arizona State has smoke shows there, so they'd be distracted for the game. They actually beat Michigan State. So it's like, do I go against my own thing? Like, are the smoke shows a motivator? But I'm going with mathematics here. Regression to the mean. Washington finally covers.
Also,
And wins.
a fun fact.
More fun facts.
I think Washington. I don't know what the Vegas odds would be right now for the playoff. I'm sure you can bet it. I think Washington will be a value pick. I think they go undefeated the rest of the way and could very easily be in the Final Four.
Well, and Jake Browning and Miles Gaskin are both really good. They've just kind of stunk so far this year in comparison to what we thought they would do.
I don't trust Jake Browning. I'll say that
Well,
right
that
now.
pass he threw to the
I
fat
don't trust
guy.
him. I just think that their defense is very, very good, and the Pac-12 is on a down year overall. I do not trust Jake Browning, though. I want that on the record.
He wants that on the record. And Chris Peterson spent all weekend or all week trying to defend Jake Browning, by the way. Like
Chris, where would you put Chris Peterson in the pantheon right now of college coaches? Top 10?
top 10.
5?
Top 10.
I think he's an unbelievable coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say top 10. Yeah, he might be top
be
5.
close to top 5. Yeah, I mean, I
would
like
be
Chris.
ahead
I've
of him?
worked at
Well,
a Washington
it-
game, and I
You
like
put
him.
Urban
Dabo,
there. I mean, Urban's a great
Urban,
coach, but he has no
Jimbo,
morals as a
Paul
human.
Chryst.
So.
I mean, you've got
Paul
four.
Chryst.
Paul Chryst won 30 games in his first, over 30 games in his first 3 seasons.
But you have four
But
coaches
no one,
that
I
are
don't think anyone else
active.
in the Big Ten has done that.
You have 4 coaches that are active that
How
won
about
national
the 49ers
championships.
to the
So
Super Bowl?
Yeah, Harbaugh did. He took the 49ers. Remember what he did at San Diego? Not San Diego State, San Diego.
Stanford, he turned that program around.
this feels like the
Carroll
God
more heads
forbid
than
off that you
velocity.
guys have.
Yeah.
Just going back and forth. Okay, so everybody's going Washington here?
Yep.
Everybody's
Yeah.
going Washington. And by the way, we're recapping all the picks this week because last week when I tried to do that and you just told me that I put words in your mouth, we're actually going to recap what you picked. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so Washington.
Now, when you say that, you're picking Washington versus spread?
I am.
Okay.
Are we all taking Washington?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
All right.
And I'm taking bacon, mac, and cheese.
Yeah, and I'm eating the plain. I know we're supposed to. I always keep it real. I love all the mac and cheese, but
Why didn't you ask for the plane when we went through that then?
no, I tried to make it easy.
Okay, well, you can have this.
Thank you.
I'll eat
you
it.
go.
They're all so good.
They're all good, but in order. I don't know if we're allowed to rank them, but
I'd rank them
the
all.
bacon's
Well, it's like
great.
ranking your kids. They're all the
That
best.
one that you have, Tommy's great.
Depends on the mood.
Plain's always
Confirmed.
great.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the next game
I got
of.
two now.
Oh, and I have none, so can we share this one?
Yes.
Well, you're
Okay.
Oh, no, she's
Oh, yeah.
Fair point.
oh,
We
yeah.
make it a
I'm
live
not
bomb.
really
Casey.
sick.
Give that to
Thank
Casey.
you. Thank you. I'm not
I
sick. You
just
guys are
saved
just
you.
claiming
I
that.
just saved your life.
Dave's all of a sudden
I mean,
going to
literally
start
said
feeling
anything
bad
on
because I said that I didn't feel
I
good.
don't do that.
You're not a hypochondriac? You're a hypochondriac.
If I feel sick when someone gives me germs.
But you're just going to think that I gave you germs because I said I
You
didn't feel
think my
good.
brain falls for that trick?
Yes, you are 100% a hypochondriac. Okay,
no.
we're going to go to the second game now. So it's number 7 Stanford at number 20 Oregon. Oregon is +2 in this. Last year, Stanford absolutely rocked Oregon. This is Pac-12 North supremacy. The biggest key for this game, guys, Bryce Love is back. Some people said he had a hip injury, and some people said he was concussed last week, which is why he didn't play against UC Davis. I don't really know what the story is, but he is going to be back. And the biggest question is Oregon even worth a shit this year? Because they haven't played anybody.
That's fair.
Yeah,
That's very fair.
And not only that, I don't have that answer for you. I know this is a college football show, but I haven't seen Oregon play in quite a while. So I'm just going to go with the old theory that Stanford's going to punch him in the mouth.
Yeah.
They're going to out-physical him. They're going to win this game. But I readily admit, I don't know anybody on Oregon.
Oregon has a good quarterback.
Who?
Justin
Herbert.
Herbert. Justin
I
Herbert.
know that name.
Scrambler?
No, he's
Pocket
big
passer.
white dude.
There's
Everybody says he's
still-
going to be a
He's
first
like
round pick.
6'5".
He's like a Washington State quarterback.
Yeah. No, he
or an
moves
Oregon
better than that.
State.
He moves better than that.
He's a little bit more mobile.
We're not talking about Sean Mannion, Ryan Katz,
Poke.
yeah, whatever that guy's name was.
It says Oregon State still run that offense. Oregon always run that. So
Yeah.
that doesn't sound like a prototypical Oregon quarterback then.
He can move. He can move. He's got a cannon arm, but he doesn't. I don't think they have the skill positions to keep up. And this is one of those bets where I don't know what it was, 10 years ago, that Oregon was like at the peak of Oregon, and Stanford just knocked them in the mouth. And from that moment on, I'm like, you just can't take the up-tempo, crazy, cool color, uniforms, all that stuff, the candy-ass uniforms against a team like Stanford that's just going to punch you in the mouth, run the ball, play defense, run the ball.
I'm about to say, and their defense is stacked as
Yeah.
well.
So, and Oregon's played
Stanford.
no one. No, I think they played Portland State and
Bowling Green, Portland State, and San Jose
no
State.
one. Sisters of the Poor.
Did the cool
What
thing with the duck.
are we writing down here?
It's in Oregon colors. You probably can't see it. That's a
No,
question.
you definitely can't see it.
But for you guys, you can. That's a
Yep.
question mark. I
a
just
question
feel
mark.
like nobody knows what you. Oregon would not surprise me if they won this game. It's like, ooh, Oregon's back.
Tommy?
I've already started my 2019 draft scouting with the
Okay.
Giants at 0-2. I have moved, what's his name?
Justin Herbert?
Justin Herbert
I
to
keep
the.
thinking his name is Herbert.
Bobby
I like
Herbert.
that
Yeah.
actually.
New
That's
Orleans
better.
Saints.
Exactly.
I'd prefer if it was. So I have Justin Herbert at the top of my draft board for QBs. I watch 30 hours of college football a day, but I will really be circling this game to watch my next Giants quarterback. I'm taking the Ducks.
Got it.
Ducks? Okay. I'm going to take Stanford in this just because I think that Bryce Love is going to have a monster game after last week. Do you think he's still in the Heisman race?
Nope.
No.
No?
And you cannot trust a guy like that who doesn't go to the NFL.
Okay.
It's like the old Josh Rosen, does he love football? I don't really know. Why'd he stay? Why'd he stay?
Wants his education.
Why'd he stay?
Stanford's
You
smart
can always
school.
get a degree, okay?
Maybe
can always
maybe
get a
he
degree.
promised his mom that he would get a degree
Shaq
one
went
day.
back and got his degree from LSU.
He also became a police officer.
Okay, so recap of the picks, Dave.
I'm going with Stanford, but I hate it.
Stanford.
Oregon.
Stanford. All right, so you can do that. I don't have to put words in your mouth. Let's go to game number 3. This is down in Austin. Number 17, TCU, who had that tough loss last week to Ohio State, versus Texas, who had a big win over USC. And now Tom Herman went from saying that winning is really, really hard in Austin to saying they can compete with any team in the country if they're playing their A-plus football game. And then that Ohio State game, I loved it. I know it wasn't as close as people wanted it to be, but
Oh,
the
it's
turnovers,
very exciting.
the turnovers were costly for TCU. Sean Robinson throwing that pick 6 and all that. Fun fact of this one, Dave. Know you're a big over/under guy. The under has hit 5 times the last 6 meetings between these guys.
That's not a fun fact.
It's a fun fact.
No,
Nothing
because then
fun
that
about that.
makes
That's a
you
trend. That's a betting
be like, oh, well, I'm going to take the over, but it's going to be a bad pick.
Well, you don't like betting the under either.
Right, so it's not fun.
Okay, so it's a fact.
It's a fact. It's a fact.
It's a fact.
It's a fact. It's a
You want another fact?
Yeah.
I played a major part in the TCU Ohio State game. So I loved TCU. I bet TCU. I wish I had a money line. I tweeted out, I believe, I wish I was at FanDuel because I wish I had TCU money line. I pressed publish on that tweet, and within 4 minutes of game time, Ohio State scored 21 points. It was unbelievable. The timing of that tweet, an avalanche happened. Like it was TCU. I pressed tweet. It was a blowout. I also think people are now giving TCU credit. I gave them credit last week. I said it would not be easy for Ohio State to go in, but I am convinced Ohio State is overrated. I'm not just
How
saying.
are you convinced of that?
I'm not just saying that because
because he's a
Urban Meyer.
Michigan man.
No,
Right.
I'm not just saying that because Urban
They have
Meyer
so
turns
much
the other
talent,
cheek
Dave.
and let his assistant coach basically abuse his wife and thought football was more important than the kids and women and basic human decency. That's
And Urban
not-
Meyer looked really bad this week. I'll give you
You
that.
think?
Really bad. Should not
You
have spoken to the
think?
media. Should not have done it.
Yeah, I'd like to think that in some places, basic human decency still matters more than winning football games. Clearly, Ohio doesn't think that. In Michigan, we still do. Anyways, I don't think TCU is as good now as people think they are because I don't think Ohio State was as good as they think they are. I like Texas here at home. Neither of these teams are good. They don't play football anymore in Texas.
Ooh, I like that
Anywhere in
last
Texas?
statement.
Really? No.
Wow.
What? Nobody is good in Texas. Who's good in Texas?
I mean,
TCU,
A&M almost
that's-
upset
yeah,
the number 2.
TCU.
country.
TCU still plays football in Texas.
I
That's
mean,
it.
they snapped the ball, but
Yeah.
yeah, who else? I like when I like thinking
Baylor
Texas,
lost by
yeah.
300
Houston's
to
not
Duke.
horrible.
I mean, they gave up
Houston,
100
okay.
points to Texas Tech
Ed
last
Oliver,
week.
yeah.
Texas Tech also in the state of Texas.
Texas Tech, no defense, never have. I remember that reporter asking Kingsbury, like, Texas plays great high school football. Why can't you get 11 guys who are decent at defense? Well, maybe they don't play defense. Maybe high school football's done. Maybe Friday Night Lights doesn't exist anymore.
It just exists.
Ever
in
think
the
of
South.
that, Kayce?
Yeah.
No, because it's just not true.
Well,
It's just not true.
why the Florida?
Throwing out a lot of
It's just-
facts. Throwing out a lot of facts.
That's not a fact that Friday Night Lights is dead. That's just a horrible fact.
Okay. TCU is going to win this game easily.
Wow.
Because Texas,
I'll write that.
this is what happens with Texas. They win a game, everyone loses their mind.
They think they're
everyone
back.
says Texas is back. USC is a bottom tier team
bad.
this year. They scored 3 points against Stanford. They looked terrible after their first touchdown against Texas. Gary Patterson is going to coach circles around Tom Herman. And TCU, I'll give them credit for this. They should not have covered. Ohio State should have covered because Ohio State was chasing points early in the game, which you also tweeted. But TCU's offense had a very good game plan. What? You said that. That was a fact.
I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah.
It's amazing how stupid that was.
So stupid.
It was amazing.
You thought Big Ev was coaching.
Yeah. I mean, Ohio chasing.
Shot on Big Ev.
Yeah.
Well, anybody with a brain, you have to be brain dead to chase points that early in a football game.
Yeah.
It's like they think the game's. It just
It was
never
insane.
makes sense.
And they would have covered if they didn't chase those points. But either way, TCU putting up over 500 yards against a not overrated Ohio State, a very good Ohio State, one of the best defenses in the country, Ohio State, was impressive. TCU, easy.
We'll see.
I like
Yeah,
the
we
over.
will.
That's
They
a-
will
that's a
play.
big-
They will play.
It's a BS Sports.
They will
TCU's
play.
offense
World's greatest
was-
reality
see.
show.
We
TCU's
will
offense
see.
was too fast for Ohio State's defense. Have you seen Texas defense
They
play?
weren't too fast.
They were too fast.
They were not too. They were too fast in the first drive, and then as soon as you make a little thing called in-game adjustments, Ohio State. figured
But do
it
you
out.
think, I have heard of him, do you think Tom Herman can make those in-game
No.
adjustments? Okay.
That's why
That's
I
the
have
whole
TCU
point.
big.
Okay.
I
Tommy?
like the over here. I think is a good 47.5. I mean, I think it's going to be a lot
I
of
don't think
points
Texas is
scored.
gonna
Good
score.
old-fashioned Texas Civil War shootout style. Just a lot of points scored. I think TCU will win, but I think we're going to see 90 points. Maybe not 90.
90
Oh.
points.
Not 90, but we'll
That's-
see more than 47.
You might have to suspend him from this show.
90.
I took a shot.
Do you really like
90
Sam
points?
Ellinger that much? The
Yep.
quarterback at Texas? Do you really?
You think Texas
Everyone
has
knows
He can't
I
score.
40 plus
I mean,
points
I
in them?
like I say, a shootout Texas. I threw out a number. I threw out 90, and that's what I do. I take shots, and the over will hit.
Okay.
Don't shake your head.
All right.
That was tough.
90
That was
points.
We'll go 75.
No, you can't take it back now.
This game's
Right.
really
If
You
I
can't
say
take it back. It's
75.
on the table.
Imagine if it was 90 now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That,
Okay.
I mean, look, if I'm wrong, we'll
We
lose the
need it to
tape.
be what we need it to either be 90 points or like 6-0.
Which it
What do you-
very
who
well
do you
could
have,
be.
Kayce?
I'm going to take TCU. I think Texas stinks. I really do. I don't think USC's any good. And I'm not. You always look at me when I say that because you think it's
We're
an
on a
A&M bias,
show.
but
It's you talking. I'm looking at you.
you have the little smirk in your eye. You've got the little twinkle in your eye like you're going to just roast me.
Oh,
No?
I would
Okay.
never do something like that.
Never. Absolutely never. I'm going to take TCU. So TCU for who has TCU again? I'm trying to recap these.
The three of you.
Okay.
I'm on the horns.
All right.
think
Well,
about
speaking
that.
of Austin, we're going to go out to concussion protocol with Caleb, who's been spending a very weird week talking about kissing on the lips with the Longhorns.
The University of Texas, proud home of the Longhorns, a football town where the winning tradition is as important as life itself. So you've been a fan since you were a little girl, huh?
Yeah. Since I was born, just burnt orange blood.
Tell me about the glory days of being a Texas fan.
Well, hell, seems like a long time ago, but I was actually in school during our national championship.
4th and 5, the national championship on the line right here. He's going for the corner. He's got it. Vince Young scores.
Texas football, early 2000, I can say family, strong family, hype all the time. Everybody excited about putting on their burnt orange to have opportunity to play the best team in the country as USC. That kind of set the tone. That's when we was at our peak for Texas Longhorn football.
What about Ricky Williams? Tell me some memories of Ricky Williams.
I was at the A&M game where he beat the record. And God, I just remember the stadium going nuts, just everybody losing their minds.
11 yards shy of the record. Williams breaks a hole. Williams, hello record book. Ricky Williams runs to the Hall of Fame, cuts back. Ricky Williams, touchdown! 60 yards and the record is his. He does it in dramatic fashion.
I came in, we won the first Southwest Conference Championship, we won the first Big 12 Championship. So it was really the beginning of that new wave of winning coming back to Texas. And you know, we added seats in the stadium, and so, like I said, it was the beginning of it, and it was great.
However, under the new leadership of Coach Tom Herman, things aren't what they once were.
I think the coach overthinks things. I think he's one of those guys that just is so smart and brilliant that he just overthinks things.
I'll be honest, recently, it ain't been going great.
And not so good, man, honestly. We've been hoping for better starts.
We're clearly in a rebuilding phase.
It was a lot of like, we almost got there, but then we didn't.
I think Texas has a lot of hope, even though we don't always do well. There's always the hope.
And now you bring in Herman, and he's supposed to be the guy. And it just doesn't show up on the field.
Although things may have gotten off to a rocky start, Coach Herman and his players remain very close.
Coach, you know, a lot of people know that you have a very close relationship with your players, even much so like that you kiss them on the cheek. Sure. So what's the meaning behind that?
I think it's weird that people think it's weird, first of all, because I tell moms, dads, I tell the recruits, I kiss them all the time, and I'm going to kiss them till the day I die.
To the casual football fan, this all might sound a little weird. And that's because it is. Evolutionarily speaking, there are no examples of any physiological benefits to kissing on the cheek. However, throughout history, it has been made very clear with science the large upside to kissing on the lips.
Like a human kiss, it's thought to encourage the bond of love and release oxytocin, a pleasure hormone that floods the brain.
With the advantages of a lip kissing so scientifically clear, one has to wonder, why won't Coach Herman smooch his players? Could it be social norms, fear of getting beat up? Or could it be something from his past?
Coach Tom Herman was fired from Subway.
Coach Tom Herman was fired from Subway.
Coach Tom Herman was fired from Subway for eating way too much pastrami.
Eating way too much pastrami.
To find out more about how this incident could be related to Coach Herman's unwillingness to kiss his players on the lips, I visited clinical therapist Dr. David Jenkins.
In your professional opinion, do you feel like something that had a negative consequence in the past could affect how you act in the present?
Well, absolutely. You know, I see that all the time in my practice here with the people that I work with.
Right, so for example, if someone's mouth has got them in trouble in the past, could that lead them to underutilizing it in the present?
If the individual isn't able, you know, psychologically and mentally to process that experience and get to a place of sort of peace and resolution about it, it's like having a reservoir that's dammed up, and there's this pressure, you know, and it actually affects us neurologically so that our brains don't think as well.
Ha! I knew it.
If my research is correct, thank you, sir. The day that Coach Herman got fired for overindulging with his mouth by eating that pastrami, he created a mental barrier that to this day does not allow him to fully utilize the power of his lips.
I don't care what he does. He's got to kiss dudes on the lips, kiss them on the lips.
Kiss them on the lips. Let's get some wins, man. Because to me, once you start winning again, that's what builds the brand recognition.
Kiss them on the lips to make them be the best that they can be, man. That's what you got to do, man.
You should definitely kiss them on the lips. There's no question, because fame will come and fame goes.
If I could put every time you made me smile in my pocket, I would fall down. If I took a sip from every cup of tea that you made me, I think that I'd drown. If you were floating on a door in the deep dark sea, all the water was cold and you were holding on to me. If I said I never let go, I never let go. If they say what will be like the colors of the rainbow and the fishes in the sea. They say good things only happen in threes, but they were wrong. Yeah, they were wrong. 'cause it's just you and me.
In Austin, Texas, love wins. The day Coach Herman realizes that will be the day Texas football returns to national dominance. Until then, the fans have one rallying cry.
What do you guys think about Tom Herman kissing his players on the cheek? Do you think that's weird?
No.
He's been doing that since he was at Houston.
I like it.
Football
You like
coaches
it?
are weird by nature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a great video, though. Tommy, what was your favorite part of it?
I like the part where Caleb made that joke.
Oh.
Good job,
Describe
Caleb.
it in more detail.
So he was in Texas and he had that long flowing locks that Caleb has, that blonde hair, and he said that thing, and it was like underratedly funny. You got to really be listening for it. It was like a man on the street style. Oh, I just thought of it again.
Yeah. Okay.
Wearing the cowboy hat, right? Was that-
Well, no.
No. I think he was wearing a cowboy hat. Okay, so we're going to go to the top 2 games of the week. This is presented by Bud Light, game day's favorite light lager. And Big Cat, I'm just going to wind you up on this one because number 18, Wisconsin versus Iowa. It's at Kinnick. The Heartland Trophy rivalry, the whole thing last year didn't go well for Iowa. But I'm just going to wind you up. I mean, the playoff hopes, are they dead in Wisconsin?
Oh, so dead. Listen, the difference between Wisconsin fans and delusional, idiotic fans in the Big Ten who think they still have a chance even though they lost to Notre Dame and they said on a test show that the season's over if they lose to Notre Dame.
I love that.
I'm a realist, okay? I know when Wisconsin's season's over. I will tell you when Wisconsin's season's over. The season is over in terms of playoffs. That ship has sailed. Now we're just focused on giving a really good Wisconsin, like I said, 10-3. We're going to still go to the Big Ten championship game. We're going to give Ohio State everything we got. But this game scares me, and I'm be totally honest with you. I'm not going to lie and say, I feel confident. I've been to a Wisconsin-Iowa game at Iowa. It is a very hard place to play at night. I'm very worried about this game. That is why I'm abstaining from a pick. I will take the under instead. No one's scoring. No one's scoring.
Okay.
Well, I took a pick. I just can't. The smart pick is Iowa, but I'm not going to bet on Iowa. Okay. Like if I removed my body from this, my soul from this game, from this like show right now, I'd say Iowa probably +3.
Dave?
Fair?
Well, yeah, it is fair, and I resent anybody who takes shots at any Michigan fans who say we control our own destiny and still aren't encouraged and compare losing on the road to Notre Dame as a pick'em game versus losing at home as a 23-point favorite as a top 10 team. I resent those comparisons.
I don't think that he's making the comparison about the games. I think it's more that you said the season would be over if Michigan lost to Notre Dame.
Dave, focus on finishing higher than 4th in the Big Ten East. Once.
Listen,
Once.
I'm very focused,
Once.
and if you look at my
4th.
rankings, you'll see we're right where we want to be at this time of the season.
You know the only Big Ten team to lose in the bowl season last year? Yeah, that's Michigan.
We don't care about toilet bowls. All right.
And the Big Ten right now is not great either.
No, Matt.
Go
ahead. There's always a time in the calendar where everyone piles on the Big Ten. Go ahead, haters. We'll have our day. We'll have our day.
You want the pick? The pick's
Yeah.
Iowa. I was going to win this game by double digits. Wisconsin, I told you they're going to lose to BYU the second I saw the line of scrimmage. This Wisconsin team, who traditionally wins early season games when they play nobody by 50 points easy, they haven't been doing
BYU
that.
is not a nobody.
They're not. Yeah, but even versus the crap teams, they weren't playing well. They are not controlling the line of scrimmage, just struggling to gain yards. This team is not a good Wisconsin team. Iowa at home under the lights is always tough no matter what. Iowa's going to be ready for this game. Wisconsin's probably packed up and, farming or whatever they do, milk, cheese, that stuff. Iowa big, Iowa double digits. Book it. This is my second best pick of the week.
Yeah, Iowa, biggest party school in the country too. A few years ago, they get rowdy.
Iowa
for
City's
these
a lot of fun.
Shout out Iowa.
Second favorite Big Ten campus.
We did a little thing called the Blackout Tour back in 2010. It wasn't working, really. Nobody was going to these events. We happened to do it at Iowa, and
There's nothing else to do in Iowa, right?
They had a bar that had CO2 in the roof. It was already in there. We put out a video with CO2. Next thing I know, we got the hottest tour in the country. So I have a debt of gratitude to Iowa. It's true. That's like a true story.
I mean, they have nothing to do in Iowa but party.
Well, I mean,
In Iowa.
A&M is not exactly.
I mean, it's in the state of Texas. Why does
Well, it's like
Yeah,
how
you took a shot.
they have professional teams too? They have professional
But
teams in the state of
what
Texas.
else can you do in College Station?
Ann Arbor is a bunch of losers
I'm saying
too.
there's
Jack.
nothing
It's an
in Iowa
agricultural
but
school. I don't like the two-front attack.
Yeah, well,
I'm attacking her. You want to attack
Iowa
me?
City's a fun part. Is
I
a
agree.
fun college
She's
town.
killing Iowa.
No, I just said that there's nothing else to do but party there, so of course it's fun.
But I mean,
Do you consider farming nothing?
me?
No.
No.
I mean, it's the
Perfect.
backbone of
Yeah,
America.
it's the backbone of our economy.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to an agricultural school, as you
That's
guys remind
true.
me every
She's got
single
you
week.
there, Tommy.
Are there
Every
vibes?
single week you remind me of that. That's what the A
she's
stands
got
for
you
in
there.
A&M.
But
So,
Iowa doesn't have that vibe.
I mean, you guys forget your roast on me already.
Iowa doesn't have a vibe like, oh, there's nothing to do. There's a lot.
No,
a
it's
great
a great
college
college
town.
town.
Yeah. Where I'm sure there's more to do there, more bars, more restaurants than there are at College Station.
It's just not true, but you'll see that later this year when I make you
Casey,
go to
your
College
problem
Station.
is you need to get up on your Ann Arbor facts, because what Davey's coming at you right now, all you got to say is, "Oh, Dave, what are we gonna do in Ann Arbor? Go stand in a basement at Rick's in 3 feet of water? That's a cool time."
Ann Arbor is one of the great college towns of this country. I mean, everybody knows that.
Okay, no.
Apparently, it's not very much fun. I trust Dan over you, by the way.
Oh, okay, paddle.
What?
Got her.
But that's
This
not
is-
even.
this
You
has been a
just you
contentious
threw
episode.
the exact same insult at Dan about cow milking as you did to me. Like,
Well,
find
you
a new
literally-
slant.
You are an agricultural school.
Yeah.
But which Tommy forgot when he threw farming.
yeah,
doesn't
Tommy
matter.
forgot your
I
roots.
mean,
Casey, you
Tommy got
forgot
mine.
your roots. You grew up a farmer, and now you're
Let's
trying
all
I
just
to
take
never
a
have
deep
been a
breath.
farmer.
I'm taking the under, Tommy. Do you have a pick?
We're talking all about cows and stuff. I'm taking Iowa.
Okay.
Okay, I'm taking Iowa as well. And
Brother in arms.
yeah,
Yeah,
all
I'll
the
tell you
farmers.
what.
Farmers unite.
I'll tell you what, this is the only authentic pregame college show, because the rivalries and the fan, hatred comes out fast.
Yeah, that's like,
Sure.
Herb
The
Street.
other ones, they all just-
Herb Street, you won't even know he went to Ohio State at this point.
Right. Dude, Herb Street and Desmond Howard sit
Best
right next to
friends.
each other.
Yeah,
Best
best friends.
pals.
I do like Alex Hornibrook still, though. Are you still on the Hornibrook?
I for
No.
sure
Well, we
thought that
actually
was
buy a shirt. Can you put this in there, Horny for Heisman? Let's put those shirts back up.
I for sure
That's a
thought that
collector's
was,
item. So
Bar
we'll see how
Rutland
that
shout out
goes.
for some reason. I thought that's where you're going.
No,
Yeah.
no.
It's
Just
coming.
talking football.
It's coming
Dave.
right now.
Just talking football. All right, the top game of the week presented by Bud Light. Again, America's favorite game day lager, light lager. Texas A&M at Alabama. A&M ranked 22. Alabama number 1 in the country. Alabama is favored by a massive 26 points. Last year, this was the rat poison game. Do you guys remember when Nick Saban went on that whole rant about how the media is rat poison?
I'm trying to get our players to listen to me instead of listening to you guys. You know, all that stuff you write about how good we are, it's like poison. You know what I mean? It's like taking poison, like rat poison. All right, so I'm asking them, are you going to listen to me or are you going to listen to these guys about how good you are?
Jimbo Fisher's talking about how he'd go vegan in order to beat Alabama. This game is just on everybody's map right now, Dave. Everybody's.
I mean,
including Laura Rutledge.
Laura Rutledge game of the week. Texas A&M is going to get the doors blown off.
I actually think A&M. Well, I mean, the weird thing is, the A&M can get their doors blown off and still cover.
Right,
I mean,
right.
if you lose by
It's a massive
25,
line.
that means you got annihilated. So I'm taking the points here. I just don't think. I know I've said a million times, don't get rich betting against Bama. They're not going to cover. I don't think every week these gigantic spreads. I mean, you can win in a blowout and not cover. So I'm going to take A&M as a show of support to our co-host Kayce.
Solidarity.
The
Okay.
problem is Alabama has kind of broken the social contract that they've had for many, many years.
Not
where
running it up.
No, where they have an unbelievable defense. 9 guys that are going to get drafted, but their quarterback always stinks. Right? Like, you can always beat Alabama if
He's
you
a system quarterback,
if you
right.
get if you just grind it out and their quarterback makes 1 or 2 mistakes. Tua is electric. He is unbelievable. It's not fair they get a quarterback like that. And the problem, Dave, is Jalen Hurts is going to get some snaps too. They just both want to score. They're basically in a quarterback controversy, which is not really a controversy anymore, like during the season. So I like Alabama in this game. I like the over. That's a 2 for right there.
Well, you also don't think Alabama's really played anybody. Like, you didn't think they
I
went
know
over
for a
Ole Miss
fact
last
they-
week.
I
I mean,
don't-
Ole
I
Miss
don't-
is a good offense.
I don't think that. I know that.
But here's the problem, Kayce, is like there is nobody for Alabama.
Right.
It's
I think they're
Clemson
that
and
good.
Georgia.
I completely
and Ohio
agree with that.
State.
I think
What
so
about-
too.
You just absolutely slap Coach O in the face.
That'll be an interesting game. I forgot they had them on the schedule.
Mississippi State too.
You forgot Alabama had LSU on
Yeah, I
the
forgot
schedule.
that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You said
In the
you
same-
didn't want to go
same
to the game
division.
because it's going to be such a
I
blowout.
did, but I
Same.
But I think now, yeah, I like that game. I think Baton Rouge. Hell yeah, Coach O.
I mean, Alabama is by far the best team in the country.
Yes.
There's no question.
Yes. Yes.
I have a question.
Top 2 or 3?
Who's your question?
He has a question.
No, I am not ready to say that.
Okay.
I mean, they're outscoring people like left and right.
Okay, they played the Sisters of the Poor.
The first time they've ever scored 50 points or more, three games to start the season.
170 to 28.
Listen,
It's not fair what they're doing. They have an offense.
They haven't played
They
anybody
have a
yet.
real
Quarterback.
game- Yeah.
A quality,
He's a
classy
playmaker.
quarterback.
Going to win the
Beauty.
Heisman Trophy.
It's the beauty of sports.
Tua
World's
Tagovailoa.
greatest reality show.
Tongo Vailoa.
Tua Tagovailoa. Tua.
I don't even try to pronounce it.
Yeah.
Tongo Vailoa. I
Tua.
just can't spell it.
It's just Tua.
Yeah.
I'm
Tommy?
taking Tua.
Tua.
No, Tommy.
Oh my God.
God damn it.
I can cover.
Ruin all the fun we're having.
I don't even know what he said, but I could tell by your reaction.
Alabama.
Alabama. Alabama to cover.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Alabama to win, but A&M to cover. That line's just too big. I like Kellen Mond, and I'm not just saying that.
No, he's good. He's good.
Because
He
he's
showed
A&M's
something.
quarterback, but
Yeah.
against Clemson, and Clemson has a really good front four, and he had over 400 yards of offense. I like him. There's no way they beat Alabama.
I don't like that.
You don't like that?
No, you got to always pick your school, even if you don't believe it. Be
No,
like,
I
what-
didn't. I didn't take Wisconsin. I took the under.
But you didn't even pick.
I took the under.
He basically said he would have taken Iowa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not.
He said that if he
Okay.
took
I don't
his
like
soul
that
out of
either.
his
Okay.
body, he
But I
would
mean,
pick
it's
Iowa.
being. I owe it to the fans out there to give them my honest opinion about Wisconsin, so I don't lead them astray.
Yeah.
Fair.
I mean, Alabama's the best team in the country.
Yes.
Now, in 2012, they were the best team in the country, and A&M beat them, but I don't think that Kellen Mond is Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, Johnny Manziel ain't walking through that door.
No.
And
he's
the
not.
game's not in whatever you call it.
No, but he was in Tuscaloosa
College
when he beat him, too.
Oh, he was?
Mhm.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
My memory's fading.
It's all right. It's been a few years. Okay, so.
Did he beat him twice?
No. They haven't beat Alabama since that game in 2012.
Got it.
It was close. And it was close last year, too. Kellen Mond kept it close last year. But, I mean, this Alabama team's going to kill everybody. In my opinion, Dave,
Except LSU.
except LSU.
I just
back.
don't. I don't believe that.
Yeah. Dave needs more eye test.
Well, it's just you got to start beating good teams. Alabama, they haven't.
But you know what I'm
been-
saying, right?
They haven't
Like,
been
there's
levels
no-
ahead of the rest of college football the last 3 or 4 years. Yeah,
But they
look-
didn't have a quarterback, Dave. They didn't have Tua like they do now.
Well, they have been levels ahead because they won what?
No, but
last few
I mean,
two of the past
the
three.
national championship this year was very close. They lost to Clemson. I mean, it's not they've lost in the SEC, so it's not like you're looking at a team that nobody even comes close to. They've had
They have
tough
won a
games.
year where they'll I just
Right.
don't think it's gonna be this game.
I mean, Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback, but he's not Tua. This team's completely different. Completely different than
That's
teams
why I
in the
like
past.
Ohio State too this year because Dwayne Haskins different quarterback than what they've had. Guy who doesn't have to run, he can just throw the ball around the yard.
Those two teams are the most talented teams in the country, right?
Yes,
Easily.
fact. And maybe Clemson's defense.
All right, so that was the Bud Light preview, the top 2 games of the week. Thanks to Bud Light for
Let's
that.
just look right past Georgia.
That's fair.
That's fair. I mean, and LSU, right?
That's totally fair.
All right. Let's do Lights, Camera, Maction.
Mm.
That's one of our favorite segments. So last week we saw Eastern Michigan fly the pirate flag because that's their new thing. This week, Akron came from behind to beat Northwestern, and it was that crazy ball in the end zone. And by the way, we got our own flag.
And,
Big Ev is on here too, by the way.
And first time they beat a Big Ten school since like 1894. And
that's why Big Ten had a bad weekend last weekend.
And
Michigan won easy.
And the Bowdens are still coaching. I love that about
Is
the
that
Akron.
Terry who
Yeah,
coaches
that's
that?
Terry. Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
Fail
yeah.
Sons
Oh, yeah.
are still out there just
Oh,
doing
yeah.
their thing.
So another week in a row, though, we got the pirate flag because everybody loves the pirate flag. So you see all the celebrations. They're already like showing it on the Jumbotron. They've hung it in their facilities. But the MAC loves us so much that they sent us a flag, like I mentioned, Big Ev, with our own
I love it.
Maction flag.
I love
it.
There you go.
I wore
Look
the
at
Mac
this.
shirt. I was doing the Mac shirt the other day. That's it, by the way. Pretty big upset to beat Northwestern.
Yeah.
And like they said, the way it ended too,
Yeah.
falling on the.
What do you mean
on
the way
end
it
zone.
ended, though?
Because the way that they won was very MAC-like, because they had a touchdown when they fell on a ball in the end zone.
But they were.
Yeah, that is a MAC play.
Yeah,
It's a MAC play.
There must have been a decent amount of time because it looked like that's the first time to be honest.
That was
I
to
saw
go
that
ahead.
Play.
That was to go ahead.
Right. So there had to be enough time because it looked like Northwestern was throwing the ball up too. So that couldn't have been totally the end of the game.
Yeah, but
that
it
was just the most Mac-like
Right.
play.
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is-
yeah.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Okay. So send us in any of your Maction stuff on Twitter. We want to see it. #Saturdays are for the Mac. Speaking of, we're going to do our social game of the week. We brought in Big Ev with your Dwayne Heisman shirt. Very nice. What's the social game of the week?
This week, the people wanted is Mississippi State going to Kentucky. Mississippi State and 9.5-point favorites on the road. Nick Fitzgerald, great quarterback, mobile guy. Benny Snell, Kentucky, coming off huge win over Florida. First time in, 31 games, 31 seasons.
Was that
Yeah,
2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago.
So were they off this week?
No, they played. They didn't cover. They backdoored them. Like
It was
some
someone,
crap
I think I want to
team.
say it was like Murray State
It
or
was a
something like
cupcake
shitty.
team.
Popeye Jones.
That bad bastard. They're riding high though.
I was.
Your brain might be back.
That was.
Your brain might be back.
That was digging deep into the wealth of information for that.
Yeah.
Tommy's laughing. He doesn't know what.
No
we're
idea
talking
who. No idea
I was
who Popeye
impressed
Jones
with
is.
your knowledge there.
Yeah.
It was in awe and I laughed.
about. Yeah, Popeye Jones.
One of the all-time ugliest guys.
All time.
Like
All time.
I mean, just horrendous to look at.
He was not. He wasn't the Shack of the Mac, but that's another good nickname. Who was the Shack of the Mac? We'll have to dig that one out. What a nickname, the Shack of the Mac. We're just switching sports.
Yeah.
on
Okay.
people,
Sorry.
too.
Big F.
But yeah, I mean, I'm on Mississippi State on this one. They covered a Kansas State on the road. I like them to cover in this one. I know Tommy's a big fan. Tom Moorhead, Fordham guy.
Joe Moorhead.
Or Joe Moorhead, excuse me.
Damn
Joe
you,
Moorhead.
Ev.
Everyone should learn the name.
Oh, yeah, Joe Moorhead. Print the shirts. Moorhead, little play on words there on a little.
Yeah, I've been thinking about
Moorhead.
t-shirts. I am moving the needle in Mississippi State, I think.
I like him a lot. I
You
like
could
him
do
to
a
go on the
more
road.
cowbell thing too, by the way.
Well,
It's
like
a shirt.
Mo Cowbell, Joe Moorhead.
Okay.
They call him Joe Mo, like
Yeah.
Coach Joe Mo, something like that. I don't know, but they're little spoiler alert. They may or may not still be my #1 team in the country. But yeah, Kentucky, Mississippi State. I just keep betting on them every week until the rest of the
3-0 against the spread this year, Mississippi State.
Yeah,
3-0.
I know that. I had them last week. They won big. They played a trash team, but they killed them like 60-something.
That's what they beat. They beat the hell out of Kansas State in Kansas State. Coach Snyder, usually good at home
Very
as a
good.
dog.
Yeah,
And
very
they,
good.
Very good
and they,
running back.
They blew him out. Yeah, Hill, great running back.
Great running back.
Yeah. I like Mississippi State in this game.
I took Kentucky, but I'm not. I think I'm just fooled because they finally beat Florida.
That's the problem. That's their Super Bowl. The season's over. They've
Wow.
mission accomplished.
But this place should be a madhouse. Night game. They finally beat Florida. Kentucky ranked.
Is it a night game?
Yeah, it is.
They're,
Right?
it is. I believe it's a night game. They're not
Yeah.
ranked though.
Yeah, it's a night game at Kentucky. That place is gonna be going. I
Yeah,
love
that'll
their
be
uniforms.
fun. That'll be fun atmosphere.
Mississippi State really hasn't. I guess at Kansas State, I'm sticking with Kentucky, but I don't love it.
I think if Mississippi State was a different team that had bigger name, they'd be in the top 10 by now.
Yeah,
I really
for
think
sure.
so.
Were they 16?
I think so. 16?
Yeah, this is a fun game. This is a game that, as just a fan, I'm excited to watch.
All right. I like Mississippi State as well. Big fan of Nick Fitzgerald. So all across the board, again, recap the picks.
I have Mississippi State.
Mississippi State. If you're going to go over or under, if Joe Moorhead is going to lose, it will probably go over. So there's a little tip for you.
All in on Mississippi State this week.
All in on the Bulldogs. All right, let's go out to the PickM Podcast. We've got Rico Bosco, who, by the way, was white knighting for me on Twitter this week.
Oh, wow.
Huge fan of Rico now.
Oh, wow.
Huge fan of Rico. We've got Dave and Dan with him. Let's take a
What was he
listen.
white knighting?
You're gonna tell me? You're gonna tell me how to do the list? I created this list since 2013.
This was on my list as a potential mortal lock. I feel like people are still judging Wisconsin preseason rankings, but they just aren't playing good. Iowa's traditionally always tough to play in.
Yep.
This game's at night, right?
Yep.
Iowa, by the way, great place to watch football.
And they do the thing for the kids.
They do the thing for the kids.
The hospital.
Yeah, they did the thing for the
You
kids.
can't downplay that.
Okay.
No, that's you have to
Do you
put
know
that
what
in
it
your
is?
numbers, Dave.
They do the wave
They have a big hospital for kids,
and they wave.
and
right?
they wave at the start of the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Possibly the greatest tradition in college,
Yeah.
in my eyes.
And they gotta also the train. Do you know about the train?
Wait, so
What train?
You don't know about the train?
I don't know about the train.
Huh.
so wait, that's the #1 college tradition. It's been around for 1 year, and you're already ready to do that because it's for the kids. You're a fucking sap. Like it's a great tradition.
don't even know if
But
you
you
can
say
call
it's
that
better
tradition.
than Toomer's Corner or something.
Tradition? You
The
need.
greatest perversion in life's order is the death of a child. Joseph
Oh
Lombard.
my God, this
Come on,
got fucking sad right now.
What do you want me to say?
Jesus Christ.
They're doing a thing for kids. I'm in on it. I'm in.
But it's got to be more than a year for the tradition.
Yeah.
The train is a tremendous tradition where they have a train that only runs on game day, stops, everyone goes. It's like basically free. You just get on the train and ride the thing to Kenneck State. It's Kenneck, right?
Yeah.
Kenneck. It's a great tradition.
Okay.
You should get out
Didn't
there
know
and see.
I'll go with Trent. Yeah,
see some
definitely.
culture of
Yeah.
the football. Anyways, I love Iowa. I
Eat
think
some
it's-
shitty pizza.
What?
Eat some shitty pizza.
Yeah, they had that bacon pizza at the gas station.
Yeah.
They still don't like me over that.
Yeah.
I like
Iowa City's a great college town.
Texas Tech, Oklahoma State over 77.5. I don't know.
Oh,
you like the over now.
Here we go.
You like the
Here
over
we
now.
go.
You like the over in that?
Here we go.
Because I watched Oklahoma State make Boise one-dimensional. Boise could not run the ball.
Wait, hold on.
Could not run the
But
ball.
what do you like in
Hold
this
on.
game?
The over.
Oh,
I was wrong last week. Hand up. I said it. Texas Tech.
Well, but
They could score.
that's not just.
I thought they were fucked up. They're not fucked up. And when they're going to throw the ball 80 times in this game, you're going to get some points.
That's not just being wrong.
No.
though. That is taking a team
I
that's
said
so
they
obvious
looked
that
fucked up. They looked
How many
fucked
points
up.
did they end up scoring?
100.
ton.
Yeah.
A ton.
I mean,
You
100.
could not have been more wrong on that.
100. I had Texas Tech. I had the over. I had people tweeting at me, texting me, going, "That Rico Bosco, what an idiot."
Yeah, well, how can you have him back
I
on?
did, Rico. You saw it.
Yeah.
People were saying how because that was
They're
your.
like, he's the dumbest guy I've ever heard.
Yeah, Texas Tech. They don't
Texas
score points,
Tech?
do
Listen,
they leak points.
Everyone dies, the sun rises, Texas Tech scores points.
They have no defense, Rico.
God damn it,
They didn't
Rico.
look good in the first
It's
couple
almost
weeks.
like-
Texas
here's the
Tech
thing.
did not look good.
Here's why you're such an enigma, Rico, because you actually, I'll give you credit, you are sharp with some of your analysis, but then you make statements like you've never watched college football ever.
That honestly was a
I did.
statement.
I watched the first 2 weeks.
No.
Texas Tech looks fucked up.
But-
me saying they're fucked up insinuates that I know they're going to score a million
You just
fucking
crushed
points.
your sunglasses.
Did I really? I gotta get those.
That sucks so bad. Did you see his sunglasses fall a little bit ago?
Yeah, I know.
And then
Fucking-
you
you
hear
got me
that
all worked
crunch.
up.
Texas Tech broke your sunglasses.
Fucking jerks. Texas Tech.
You get Rico's sunglasses fell behind his chair
Oh, yeah,
about
they're
30
murdered.
minutes ago, and Texas Tech then
Oh,
smashed.
they got murdered. Just like Houston.
Let me see these.
They got
Sure, yeah, give him to
murdered.
Dave.
Let
Give
me
him to
see.
Dave.
We
Give him to
gotta
Dave
get
so
on
you can put it on camera.
I gotta expense these.
Good,
man.
Well, you can't
yeah.
expense
You can't say-
stupidity.
No, yeah, expense it to Texas
They
Tech
got
if you want to
murdered.
expense
I mean,
it.
they're broad.
How much
so
are they?
The good news is they're express, so they're probably like $10.
Oh, okay.
What?
They're like 40, 50
was
bucks.
so
Nothing
great.
crazy. I don't go expensive on sunglasses. That's
Texas-
why.
because you don't
You
know how-
fucking
yeah.
break them.
Texas Tech broke your sunglasses.
Leave them in the pool. That sucks balls.
That was the dumbest thing. And I'm not. People
I
are
was
like, oh,
right.
don't pick on
You're
Rico,
right.
but to say Texas Tech doesn't score points,
Like
You
I
know who
said,
should-
it's like you never watched the
it
sport.
literally.
You know
it's
who's
crazy.
shitting
Like
on it too?
Alabama, they don't play defense.
Yeah. Oh.
Not only did Rico white knight for me on Twitter, he asked if I would let him hug me in the office. He asked me permission to give me a hug in the office.
That's good.
Is that creepy or not?
Yeah, I get that. It's starting to get a little creepy.
Well, he asked permission.
It's better than getting.
Wouldn't it
hit, too,
be-
if he
wouldn't it
just
be
comes to you
different if-
with no warning?
I think when it's a hug, if you ask someone, like if you have to go up and be like, hey, can I hug you? You're not at the point of hugging, so don't
Well,
even
he did
do
it on Twitter, and then he said, "Can you talk about this on your High Hater show?" Which I haven't been on in months. So it's
a
a tough
classic.
look.
It's a classic story. Remember when Hank got caught in a no hug situation with Renee? He got caught in the do I hug, do I not hug?
Yeah, I do
And it was
remember-
maybe
yeah,
like
it
you
was
can't
very
get caught
awkward.
in the
Yeah,
no.
it was very
like
awkward.
it's very clear whether you're hugging or not.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
When
you
in
can't-
doubt, don't hug.
Don't hug.
But
Do
is it-
not hug. If you have to ask, it's like if you have to ask how expensive it is, you can't afford it. If you have to ask if you should hug, you can't
We'll
hug.
talk to Rico not to hug.
Well,
you.
to be
No,
fair, though, he wanted
he
to
didn't hug me.
because of A&M, right?
Right.
He wanted to
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that's
it wasn't just
not-
like, hey,
I
when
don't
I
feel
see you,
comfortable
can I
with
hug
this.
you?
I don't feel
No.
comfortable with that.
I don't
I
like
mean-
this at all. And Rico's going to be told to cease and desist
Yes,
from
no more
hugging
hugging.
immediately.
That
He's
was
not
not
allowed
the
to
point
hug.
of this. I was saying that he was white
Rico,
knighting for me,
No
and
more hugging.
he didn't hug me. He just asked on Twitter for everyone to see if he could
You're
hug me.
banned from hugging.
So
No
how
more
today
hugging.
he was in the office? How'd that go?
I didn't see him today.
Well, you won't know. He's very under the radar.
No more.
Well, I
hugging.
like you, Rico, and you can hug me in the office. if
No,
you want.
no.
Oh no, you
No
cannot hug
hugging.
me in the office.
It's a slippery slope with Rico. Next
All
thing
right.
you know, he's just going to be best friends with everyone.
Okay, no hugging in the office. All right, let's go to the cheesy moments of the week as we're eating this delicious mac and cheese from Panera. Hashtag Saturdays are for the Mac. Hit us up on Twitter. We want to see you guys eating mac and cheese as well. So last week we talked a lot about all the turnover
I will
gimmicks.
give
Ooh.
20 lights, camera, action shirts to the first 20 people who tag us on Saturday eating mac and cheese with With Saturdays for the Mac.
And these shirts
are fire.
They're like my favorite shirt that we've ever made. They are.
Sorry to cut you off.
So
that was
fire.
a breaking news.
Also, you have to tell us who the Shack of the Mac was.
Yes.
So 20 shirts to the first 20 people that do it, not just the best ones. Or did you say the best ones?
First
I
20.
said first 20.
First 20.
Okay.
But I
Free
mean,
Mac. Yeah.
I mean, people can get creative.
Yeah.
Wally's
All right.
World.
yeah, it should be Panera
Mac legend.
Oh, Wally Zerbiak.
Yep.
Fill it up.
Yep.
I mean, that run he made in the March Madness, like they're still talking about it
Yep.
today. He's got a job on CBS Sports because of that run.
He does.
Because he filled it up for 2 games for Miami of Ohio.
Wally's World.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, cheesy moments of the week. I'm talking about basketball here on a college football show. That's the Barstool difference.
When
That's
you
the
get down
Barstool
the Mac
difference.
hole, there's just
Yeah.
a lot of things.
They're definitely not talking about this kind of fun thing on any other network. So the turnover chainsaw, what do you guys think? Oregon State, do you like it? Not like it?
I don't like any of these things now, but if I'm gonna like it, I wouldn't hate the chainsaw. I question. I didn't see it. I saw the picture. Does it actually?
There it is right there.
But is it working?
It seems dangerous.
That's my question. If it's just a prop, I don't like it. If it's actually you can yank it like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, then I kind of like it.
Yeah.
I didn't know they had that. I like Oregon State this week, and the fact that
Yeah.
we have the chainsaw it makes me like them even more.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually am okay with this one because I think it's like a legit gimmick. Like, I don't, like the whole throne and all that, like throw that out. That's like a
That's not
scary.
a gimmick? The throne's not a gimmick?
It is, but I'm saying this is like an actual scary gimmick. Like, it actually elicits emotion from it.
And
Like,
if
you
they
brought up
just
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Right. If
because
they
of it.
just went to Home Depot and bought a chainsaw, didn't like dress it up at all, then I like it.
I don't think it chains though.
No, I don't think so.
It's probably just plastic.
I don't think
Yeah.
there's always a turnover. So let's do like a touchdown chainsaw or something.
Oh, that's
'Cause
not
it's
a
just-
bad idea, Tommy.
It seems more like
Pancake blocks,
everyone's
maybe.
just
See that
stealing.
kid?
Yeah, pancakes. So
The
just
syrup
another
thing?
event.
Throw like a huge pancake costume. I don't like
Yeah.
that.
Did you see the coach, the high school coach? After any of his old linemen get a pancake block, he just pours syrup down their
I
throat.
like that.
Sack, maybe something for a sack.
Yeah.
Yeah, throw a
Potato
potato
sack.
sack on 'em.
Yeah. Give him a sack lunch.
So you're over the turnover stuff, Tommy.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to have.
It's just done. It's done.
Yeah.
Do you
It's
see
done.
Alabama saying they were the ones who invented it with the belt?
No, but
But that-
doesn't
I mean, that
surprise me.
would-
Fuck Nick Saban.
Yikes.
Whoa.
Yikes.
I mean, they're the best team in college football.
And
Why-
he's the
what do you-
best
what do you
college
want me
coach
to-
of all time.
what do you want me
But
to
all right.
Heap all the praise on him?
The next cheesiest moment of the week, the Murray State mascot. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but now we have 2-person mascots. This to me, and I don't know if this is outing me or not, but this to me reminded me of like the 2 parts of an Eiffel Tower.
I like that.
That's what that
Whoa.
looks like to me. Sorry, it's true though. That's the way that person's having to walk.
Yeah, I like that. That's funny. If you're a bad football team, you need to just do the funny shit. You know?
I think Dave's trying to
Big
process
show for
this.
Murray State.
That's what I couldn't
Yeah.
believe we had another Popeye Jones
They're
drop.
just coming.
I think of
up.
Cameron Payne when I think Murray State.
Campaign, one of the worst NBA players of all
I don't hate the double mascot.
You don't hate the double mascot?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
I always wish I was. A
I thought
mascot.
they were the racers.
You'd
Is
be
that
a
what it
great
is?
I would have been a
mascot.
great mascot.
Maybe.
What was that?
I have no idea.
They're
I
the
think
racers.
the horse race.
Horse race.
So that
But
was
I
the
don't know
horse?
why you have to have 2 people in the costume.
Yeah.
And like
That
that
seems
person
cool.
having to walk is just
Yeah.
ridiculous. Not a
Interesting.
fan.
Tommy, you basically are a mascot.
Well, I think I would have
more
been a
than
great
that.
mascot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a
Oh, thank you, Dave.
So Dan, I know you're gonna like this one. You're a big Mason Ramsey fan, right?
I mean, he's the hottest thing in the streets.
So he got a bid when he was down for the Texas game from a Texas frat in Austin, and he's like officially a frat guy now. I don't even know how old this kid is, but he had like an
He's like
entire
12, yeah.
group of co-eds like chanting Texas. Loved it.
The Texas Alpha chapter of Phi Kappa Psi would like to extend a bid to Mason Ramsey.
I'm not a big Mason Ramsey person because I think it's kind of creepy.
Why?
Because he's just a kid.
What school was this at?
It
Texas.
has nothing to do with Texas, Dave.
This is
The bit.
this is awesome.
No, it has nothing. I don't not like Mason Ramsey because he was at Texas. I just think it's a lot for a kid.
creepy.
No, I don't think he's creepy. I think it's
You
creepy that
probably hate
adults
this
love
next
him.
bit too with the
Ooh.
girl kissing Matthew McConaughey.
That
Trying to kiss Matthew
That was a
McConaughey.
very aggressive.
Aggressive.
Kiss.
That hurt him.
Yes.
didn't
He
look
wouldn't
like it
admit
hurt
it in the moment, but it definitely hurt him.
Yeah.
He woke up the next morning. He's like, did I hurt? Oh yeah, some chick
aggressively
jumped,
kissed me.
So who was the bigger celebrity there last week? Was it Mason Ramsey or Matthew McConaughey?
I mean,
good question.
McConaughey, he just got the vibe, right? Like he
The
just,
Southern
I
drawl.
feel like he walks in just an aura around him. Mason Ramsey is a big deal, but he's not that type of big deal.
The only issue is McConaughey goes to every Texas game. So
True.
it's like if you
Mason
see
Ramsey
him
was like,
Fair.
you never get to see Mason Ramsey.
Right.
They always see McConaughey.
Fair.
you hate it all, right?
No, I like Matthew McConaughey. And I like whenever he does like the hype up videos because like he's an entrancing human. Like everything he says I'll listen to. I don't care if he talks about Texas for like 24 hours. Doesn't bother me. Mason Ramsey, he's just so young, it freaks me out. Tommy, Mason Ramsey fan? Just children. Well, children do freak me out, but
Okay. No, I'm all aboard Mason Ramsey.
all on board. with
Matthew
Mason
McConaughey has a like a fuck party aura around him.
How old's McConaughey now?
He's in his 50s, right?
26.
Don't you?
He doesn't wear deodorant either. I don't
He's
think.
got a fuck party aura. Like he might just be going to a fuck party
Yeah.
at any time, at any moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt.
He's either coming or
What
going
do you mean
to a
doesn't wear
fuck
deodorant?
party.
No, I'm pretty sure there was a whole thing about how he doesn't wear deodorant because he thinks that women are instinctively attracted to the smell of men.
If
That's
you
like
are
Kramer.
Matthew
Now that's a fun
McConaughey,
fact.
yes,
That's
then-
Kramer.
Yeah.
What is he? The smell when
Yeah.
Kramer attracts women?
Yeah. The beach.
No, he had to
did
go
the
to like
cologne the
a priest of some sort to get it off. The Gajanga.
Yeah.
Kavorka. Kavorka. It is a Latvian word which means the lure of the animal.
Yeah, it's like before deodorant existed, men were attractive to women because the way they smelled. So
Yeah,
Matthew
that's
McConaughey.
when you know you're a big deal.
Yeah.
When your own boss.
I have no idea if that's true. I've just been told that for years.
Seems like something that could be slanderous if it wasn't.
It's true.
I mean, it's Matthew McConaughey. He's
True.
doing just fine. Okay, the last moment we have, this is not necessarily a cheesy moment. This is just a really funny moment. The Colorado mascot shot himself in the balls with a t-shirt gun. Legitimately shot himself in the nuts, and not only that, then had to get carted off the field.
I mean, that's the best. There's nothing better than a good nut shot. This guy just nut shotted himself. Get the freaking
He really
cart.
He had to get carted off the field, and he's like waving to the crowd like the players do.
Oh.
Fantastic moment.
How do you do that? How do you?
I gotta be honest, I watched that video. Feidelberg blogged it, and I missed it. I thought it was the guy behind him. I didn't realize
No,
he
he
was
had the gun
shooting
the
it
wrong way. Yeah.
Yeah,
He
he-
just shot himself right in the
It's
dick.
not cheesy. That's a great moment.
Oh,
It's
it's
a
an
great moment.
unbelievable moment.
Will he be
Nothing
back
worse
this
than a
week,
nut
though?
shot.
With
Well,
the
you'd
gun?
hope so.
Yeah, there's probably another one in there.
Yeah.
You know,
You'd
there's
hope
another
so.
guy.
Another nut? Oh.
No, another. There's multiple mascots. They switch them up.
Well,
There was
ruin
fun
the fun. It's like
fact.
Santa.
There was a Bucky in my apartment building my senior year because we had a shared laundry, and I would sometimes see the Bucky costume. Almost stole it a couple times.
I
decided
feel
not
like
to.
the Notre Dame mascot has applied to work at
crazy
Barstool
days.
like 100 times.
I thought the mascots would say the same the whole time they're in school. It's a new one every year.
There's multiple. There's like there's like 6 people because they rent them out for parties and weddings and all that shit.
It's kind of shitty they have to wash their own mascot uniform.
Yeah.
Like
I'd
in
agree.
a dorm laundry room or
universally true?
whatever.
I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, maybe we'll get a mascot. That's probably not a very interesting interview now that I'm saying it out loud.
Well, shout out to the Colorado mascot for shooting himself. Thanks for giving us those cheesy moments of the week. Now we're going to go to Panera Locks of the Week, of course, presented by Panera. Hashtag Saturdays are for the Mac. How's the mac and cheese, boys?
Excellent.
The bread bowl's
Finished
good?
mine. Look
Good?
at that.
All right. Well, Dave, you want to start with your lock of the week?
Sure, glad. Thank you, Kayce.
Of course.
So I think Tennessee, Florida this week. Tennessee's plus 4.5 at home. Florida lost to Kentucky for the first time in 50 years. I don't think Florida is good. In fact, I think Florida is horrible. I think Tennessee sort of starting to get a little bit better. I was impressed with the way they played against West Virginia. They ended up losing by a couple touchdowns, but they kept it close against a good West Virginia team. This is a night game in Knoxville. This is a huge game for Tennessee. Huge. I not only think they cover, I think they outright them last week on these very airways. I said Syracuse would not only cover versus Florida State, they'd beat them. I doubled down at halftime. Nobody is seeing the College Board better than I am. Right here, the Tennessee Volunteers beat Florida. They beat them outright. Put it in your books.
Credit to Dave. That Syracuse pick, one you'll remember forever.
Yep.
Because it was right from the first snap to the last snap. I'm going to go, we already covered this game, but I'm going to go with Stanford. And I like Stanford to beat Oregon. So Stanford is my lock of the week.
My more lock this week, I have Vanderbilt +2 at home against South Carolina. I watched the Vanderbilt game last week against Notre Dame. Impressed with the son, Kyle Shurmur, of Giants head coach Pat Shurmur. Home dog. I think South Carolina was off last week, so, they're rusty or whatever.
South Carolina's a tough one to get a read on because they got annihilated by
Georgia.
But who'd they beat the week before? Somebody not horrible. No, it was horrible. Coastal Carolina. Forget that.
I just can't believe that Vandy would actually be any good.
They're not bad.
I know, just my bias. It's my bias, but Kyle Shermer's a good quarterback. But I just can't get over the fact that they might be actually good.
It just depends on when. I mean, Vanderbilt. Here's the thing about Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is good until they have to play one of the best teams in the SEC, and then they take the will out of them. Like last year when they're like, we want Bama, and they didn't get it past the 50-yard line. That was the end of the Vanderbilt season. So whenever they have to play Georgia or Bama or LSU, that will be the end of Vanderbilt's season. Buy on them now.
Can I do a fun fact?
Go for it.
Vanderbilt, and I don't know if it carries over. I don't always believe this, but they have struggled 2 weeks in a row mightily in the red zone. Like they drive right to the red zone and they turn it over. They miss a field goal. They can't get in. It's extremely frustrating. If you think that's going to carry over, watch out, Tommy. They got to be better in the red zone.
Progression to the mean.
Do you think that Derek Mason has many years left there if they don't start winning?
I think
He's been
Vanderbilt's
there
one of
forever,
those.
it feels
Yeah, I mean, I think Vanderbilt's one of those fan bases where
They just don't
you win 5-6 games, you're basically doing the best.
He hasn't been there that long.
They're on to baseball.
He's been
it feels
there
like,
since
6
3
years.
years.
left, right?
No,
No.
it's Franklin. Since Franklin, yeah.
Yeah.
It's been longer than 3. Because
How
I
long's
covered
Franklin
him.
been at
Yeah,
Penn
it's been
State?
3.
Has it really only been 3 years? Because I covered
Oh, this
Derek
might be
Mason
his
when I was
fourth.
at the SEC Network.
This might be his 4th.
Well, they haven't done anything. That's my question. Is how long do they put up with him? But I guess it's Vanderbilt. They
I
like
mean,
baseball
Vanderbilt's
there.
never done anything.
Yeah. They like
Also,
baseball
I
there.
kind of like his look because he wears the vest. I don't know.
Very
I just
nice
like
guy,
when
too.
I like when coaches look a little bit different with their attire, like Steve Spurrier's visor. I feel like if you stand out like that, people are like, you know what, let's keep him around. He's got that going for him.
Got the vest going for him. I'm going to take West Virginia this week to cover against Kansas State.
Oh, yeah.
14.5. They had the week off.
Coach
Will Greer
Dana.
got to rest, and they look really good. And I think Kansas State is not good this year. And I mean, West Virginia just plowed all over Tennessee's defense. And there's no way that Kansas State's defense is as good as Tennessee. So West Virginia's my lock. I love Bill Snyder, though. Big Bill Snyder fan, but it's just not going to happen.
He's a legend.
He
He's
is
legend. His
legend of the game.
Werthers. Also, cancer survivor. Fun fact.
Whoa.
Fellow cancer
What,
survivor.
like 30 years ago?
No, he got diagnosed with it like last year.
Oh,
And he
shit.
beat it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say he's been around for so
It's
long.
tough to
like,
beat it as 80 years old. Shout out
Yeah.
Bill Snyder.
He
Shout
got
out
in a
Bill
contract
Snyder.
extension.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. All right,
the
Big
best.
Ev has a Panera lock of the week as well.
Ooh.
He's coming out with 2 mac and cheese bowls.
What's Big Ev's record? We don't have it.
Big
Oh,
Ev
he's
is 1
one-
and 2 in game
He's
picks,
1
though.
and 2.
About to be 2-2. Lock in Auburn this week.
I like that.
At home, -29.5. Arkansas, maybe like the worst team ever.
Yep.
Got slaughtered at home by North Texas last week.
That punt, though,
Take-
the fake punt, fantastic.
Awesome play, but
Yes.
Arkansas, no
like that
chance this
pick.
week.
I like
No
that pick.
chance.
I like that pick too,
Auburn
Big Ev.
huge. Take it to the bank. -20.5. Book it.
Okay.
All right, Big Ev, and you gonna eat that mac and cheese?
Oh.
I mean, he's good too because he's a double walking
Don't
dog.
use my fork. I had a little bit of a scratchy throat this morning.
Oh.
Yikes.
So you
know.
look
Don't use
sick.
Don't use
Here's
Put your
the-
mouth.
no, just don't even. Yeah, don't.
Eat it after. Yeah,
There
there
you go, Big Ev. All right.
All right, we're gonna
We take one for the team.
All right, well, we're going to go to the top 10 since Big Ev is already out here. Let's just start with the people's top 10. Vote every week on the top and the bottom 10. So, Big Ev, what you got for us?
Well, a little shakeup this week. LSU, after a huge win over Auburn, made their way all the way up to number 4. Was real tight with Ohio State. Wasn't crazy. Had to switch that at the very end, but long season. Yeah, we're like Washington's in there. Pretty similar as it's been most of this year. Penn State's still in there, I think. Wait till next week. Ohio State gonna expose them in Penn State, but that's for next week. Huge game, but that's for next week. And yeah, West Virginia, I feel like he's been very sneakily just stayed at the bottom there. Will Greer.
Yeah, they didn't play last week.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What about bottom
But Will
10?
Greer's really good.
Bottom 10.
love
We got
the
some
bottom 10.
serious moves in the bottom 10
Let's see.
here.
Go towards us a little.
Yeah, can't see.
Come towards us a little. Rutgers.
Oh, Rutgers.
Florida
is-
State.
Oh, yeah, Rutgers got smoked by
41
Kansas.
points, yeah.
Florida State
Yeah.
deserves to be up there. Arkansas deserves to be up
They
there.
did lose to South Florida. Who's on the bottom there?
North
Oregon State doesn't
Carolina's
deserve. They covered
8.
against Nevada.
Purdue, Tennessee.
Okay. I actually don't
No love for
disagree.
the turnover chain with
I don't
Oregon
disagree
State.
with that.
Chainsaw.
I want to say I think Kansas should be off this list after
Kansas
2
on
wins.
the
Two
list?
wins,
They are number
yeah.
5. They're 2
Yeah,
wins.
that's
How
just-
can team-
They should be off this
know
list.
what?
They need some respect.
You know what? That's just a legacy pick.
Yeah.
You know?
'Cause there's
I think
always
they're
that.
just
Yeah.
always a
They're
team that's
fast.
thought of as like the worst Power
Right.
5 team
Yeah.
like
Right.
ever.
Right.
But then they beat Rutgers by
But then
41
they
points.
It's going to
smash
take
Rutgers.
more than 2 wins for Kansas
Mike
to fix
Mancino
their
ain't walking through
reputation.
that door.
Yeah.
And-
Mark Mangini.
Yeah, he's fat.
Yeah. Enormous. I met him at Bo Pelini's bocce tournament.
Yeah, he's big.
Fun
He
guy.
was- they were like, hey, do you want to get Mangini in the back of Vanny Woodhead? And we're like, I don't think that's going to work.
Is he bigger than Hefty Lefty?
Yeah, about the same size.
Jeez.
Probably the biggest human you've ever seen in person, right?
Jared Lorenzen's a big man.
Yeah.
Big man.
Big man.
All right, let's do the top 10. Should we do Dave's first?
Sure.
Glad to do it. Thank
I think
you.
Big Ev is going to do it.
Oh, Big
Yeah,
Ev's
Big
gonna
Ev's
do it?
going to do
Okay.
it for us.
Oh, wow. Whoa. No Oklahoma or Washington, your team to go into the playoffs.
Or Ohio State.
Or Ohio State. So that's 3 teams you forgot.
But I didn't forget. Who would you take out? I value wins. I've said that.
Okay.
LSU has the 2 best wins of the season. Ohio State, yeah.
Ohio State would be, I mean,
Ohio
over
State
Penn
has a big
State,
win.
obviously Michigan.
No, they are.
shouldn't be
They
in
are.
there.
But I'm doing a silent protest that I just value women
Okay, all right,
and human
okay,
decency
all right.
over.
What about Oklahoma?
I'm not sold on Oklahoma. I thought they looked bad this week
What
against
about
Iowa
Washington,
State.
the team that you said you would
Washington
take?
State is right at 11.
Washington?
Washington is right at 11.
Yeah. Okay.
Over, you don't have Auburn, right?
Nope.
So you'd put Washington over Auburn?
Auburn lost at home this week as a double-digit favorite.
Yeah.
But you would think you'd put Washington above Auburn even though Auburn beat them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because that was basically a home game for Auburn. It was a close game.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay.
Well, at least you put Clemson in there this week. Big Cat?
Okay.
LSU.
So LSU, BYU, Alabama, Georgia, Clemson, Oklahoma, Ohio State, Notre Dame, West Virginia, and then Wisconsin.
Wisconsin attempts
losing
a
to
joke.
the number 2 team in the country. There's no shame in that.
That's really
There's no shame in that.
tough to.
It's making a mockery.
There's
It
no
is,
shame
it
in that.
is.
There's no shame in that.
Sad to see.
That's
All
a
right.
dumb top 10. I mean,
No,
that's-
you're a dumb top 10.
Well, I mean, not really.
Yeah, you are. You forgot like 5 teams.
I didn't forget.
Yeah, you did. You forgot. You said, I watched you do it. You're like, I forgot.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You forgot 1 if you forgot 3.
What did I forget? You said I didn't
Oklahoma.
forget.
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, I don't think is that good. I think they're going to lose 1 to 2 games, and they
Washington.
lost a tough game
Washington.
too. They
Washington.
look bad against
Ohio State.
Against Iowa State.
Big Tommies.
Washington's 11. I didn't forget them. Ohio State, I don't recognize. I think they should have the death penalty.
Okay, so
Mississippi State still undefeated, cover the spread every single week. LSU, I mean, you have 2 best wins in the country, 2 top 10 teams. Everything else relative. I will say, Murray on Oklahoma, got to watch some of him for the first time. Very impressed with him.
Fantastic.
Very
Electric.
impressed. And everything else.
Iowa State.
Yeah,
somewhat
but
standard.
Dave, he's really good.
and they
Okay.
didn't
Kyler
cover.
Murray's
They
really
did not
good.
cover against Iowa State.
No, they didn't even
No.
close.
Not
Not
even
Michigan, huh,
close.
Tommy?
Wow.
They were
Wow.
You thought you
Michigan
were
should not
Team
be in the
Portnoy.
top 10.
Damn.
Mine's pretty straightforward. I mean, LSU, if the college football playoff was happening right now, LSU would by far have the best resume. Everything else is pretty explanatory. Auburn's the only one-loss team because they have lost games.
So no
to
Washington.
top-ranked teams. No.
But
I would
Washington-
put
I guess
Auburn
Auburn beat
above Washington
Washington.
because
Yeah, but Auburn beat Washington close, basically at Auburn.
Yeah, but then they also only lost LSU by 1 point. So
At home.
The eye test, though, would say that Auburn is a better team
And
than
no
Washington.
Michigan or Wisconsin.
No, I have
Interesting.
Wisconsin, don't
Well,
I?
No.
Oh, shit, I forgot Wisconsin.
They lost to the
What are
number
you
2
talking
team.
about? You forgot Wisconsin.
No,
You're
I
getting
would-
my
forget
fuck
Wisconsin.
right now
Thank
by
you,
Dan.
Casey,
No,
thank
no,
you
no,
for the
no, no, no.
apology.
Wisconsin?
No, no, no,
Thank you
no.
for the
I would
apology.
have had.
BYU, the number 2
You
team in the
forgot
country.
Wisconsin?
No,
Tough
I
to
would have
play
put
them.
Wisconsin. I would have put
Yeah.
Wisconsin at 10.
10.
What are you
10.
talking about?
Because it's one loss.
He made a joke.
They were 24-point favorites.
Yeah, but if you're looking at one-loss teams, Wisconsin will probably have more wins than some of the other one-loss
You
teams.
put Wisconsin ahead of Auburn?
Yep.
Or
No,
Washington?
I-
or
no, I
Michigan?
put-
BYU, Dave.
No, I just-
BYU. Ever? Hey, Jim
forget?
McMahon.
No, listen,
Ever heard of him?
Listen, I would have put them
The
at
punky
maybe
QB?
10. I would have put them at maybe 10. I don't like Notre Dame. I actually was not happy I had to put Notre Dame in there because I think
Danny
Vanderbilt
Ainge?
stinks.
Didn't Danny Ainge go to BYU? Did I make that up?
Casey.
I mean,
Casey,
Dan.
Casey. You're better off having A&M in there. A&M lost like close game to Clemson than you are
I know,
to
but they didn't.
BYU.
They aren't
I mean,
a favorite to win
Wisconsin.
their division, though. Wisconsin is.
Tanner Magnum?
I mean,
You hate
it's
to
coming.
see
It's
what
coming
just
from.
happened.
It's coming from a
I
guy that
love
left
to
out
see.
Ohio
Casey's right.
State.
Casey-
Why are
left
you
out
arguing with
Oklahoma.
me?
Casey,
Dan just put you in a
have-
mental pretzel.
No, I would have put them at
Casey,
probably 10.
Wisconsin.
At maybe
but
11.
How can you have Wisconsin?
Casey,
at
you
10?
have
can't
a
put
mind
Wisconsin
for
10 as a
college
joke.
football. No, I did not, Tommy. They lost to BYU.
I mean, the fact
the
that
number
they
2
fell
team
to
in
like the
country.
late teens is ridiculous.
Yeah,
Why?
agreed.
They lost to BYU as a
Agreed.
loss at home. It's
Dave,
24.
you have Michigan in your top 10. Like,
Yeah,
why are
they
you acting?
lost.
Why are you acting like I just don't know what I'm talking
There's a
about?
huge
Tommy
I
has
like
Mississippi
Wisconsin.
State number 1.
I
There's
have
a huge
Wisconsin.
difference between Michigan losing at Notre Dame.
I'm not saying it was a good loss, but if I was going to put them anywhere, I'd maybe put them 10.
Casey,
my
I
9, 10,
appreciate
11
your
spots.
support.
I'm gonna
You have
do
a
something.
mind for college football.
I'm gonna do something I never do. I'm gonna give you. I take it back. You can use a take it back, a mulligan. We're gonna pretend that
That
never
I
happened.
forgot about
That was-
Wisconsin?
Yes.
Okay, I did. If I was going to put them in this top 10, I would put them at 11.
So she took it back. That's fine.
But I did actually forget about Wisconsin.
That's the thing.
She took it back.
I gave her a.
She did. You gave her. Take it back. She put them at 11. Kayce, thank you. We are the 11th best team in the country. We'll split the difference. 10. I got them 10. Kayce's
Here's
got
the
them
thing:
11.
is I had them
That's
going to
about
the college football playoffs.
But
So
what if
they're
they
not going to
lose
go
their next
anymore.
20
They're not going to go
games?
anymore.
Well, if we lose our next 20 games,
I think they're going to the
something,
Big Ten championship. I
Yep.
do, even though they
So this
lost.
prediction is not performance, your thing.
Dave, you left Ohio State off your list.
That's a
Dave,
moral
you left
fact.
Clemson off your list last week.
That's for
Dave,
humanity.
You left Oklahoma off your list.
Oklahoma struggled with
You know what? I'll give you a do-over. I'll give you a do-over. Because you last week you said you forgot Clemson.
I admitted that.
Okay, so you're not going to put any of those three teams. It should be at least one should be in the top 10 that you left off. You don't want to do over?
BYU.
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma,
Ohio State.
hasn't earned it. Ohio State, I'm taking
Washington.
a moral stand for humanity. Washington is 11.
So during the break, whenever you looked at it and you said you forgot, you're just not going to admit
I
that
don't
now?
recall that happening.
Well, it was on camera, so we could probably pull it.
Oh, damn.
Because remember, we all have that power now.
Yeah. I don't recall anything. I didn't say it. I don't recall anything. I stand by my picks. My thing makes sense.
I'm going to stand by my picks, but I would put
You
Wisconsin
can't-
right under the top 10.
Thank you.
I wish it could go down
feel
like
like
this. I
this
wish
is
you just took the take me back.
She did.
Why?
She put them at 11.
I said I'd put them at 11.
Yeah,
You had them at 10 originally, and then 11.
I don't have them at 10 originally. I have Auburn at 10 originally.
Well, you said I forgot about Wisconsin.
Yeah, you did.
I mean, again, coming from the guy that's Mississippi State #1 at the top of his
Facts
board.
also.
So
I'm undefeated.
all of a sudden, let's all make a big deal about me having Wisconsin 11. Okay,
Well,
this was a
it was
contentious show, by the way.
Stunning loss they had last week.
Well,
I mean,
What did
Dave,
you have them the week before?
Wisconsin, I had them at like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
I had them going to the
Plus-
college football playoff from the very beginning.
Yeah, I have no problem
I
with
still
what
think
you
they're
had
going to be
last
in the
week.
Big Ten championship.
I gave BYU a couple #1 votes in
I
my
know you
polls.
did. So did Kayce.
They got
No,
a
I
couple
didn't.
of votes.
No, I didn't. Again, this was a contentious show, fellas.
Well,
This was a fun
It's
show.
been a
I had a
long
great
day.
It's been
I
great.
thought
It's been
I
a long
was-
day. It's been a very crazy week at Barstool. So we made it through.
Now I just got to concentrate on, well, it'll have already aired by the time this thing, Rise Pages Rise.
It's stuck in everybody's head.
You're
Yeah.
gonna do it. You're gonna do it.
You wanna give
got
us a
this.
verse right now?
Give us one out.
Yeah.
Oompa, oompa, doopa dee dee. Fuck Kevin Clancy, should have left it alone. Now I will remind you who's on the Iron Throne. See, I'm Jordan, you're Pippin, you're trippin', bro. This is my fucking business, you're living off. How's that?
I mean,
Crushed it.
that's how we end. We'll be back next week. # Saturdays with their Mac. Thanks, Panera. See you next week, guys.